folks, welcome back to another episode of Disillusioned Plays Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations.
Woohoo!
Last we left off, Pete left us on a bit of a cliffhanger with Jean Armstrong.
What do you mean I left us on a cliffhanger?
Well, you conveniently stopped it.
I mean, yes, but if we don't want... I don't know. The videos are an hour long, so...
Yes, we last left Jean Armstrong on the stand, wondering if he had taken something else, rather than moving a giant mirror that had miraculously appeared in the middle of the restaurant. So with that, let's do introductions and get them out the way. I'm Sarah.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Taylor.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump back in and see what Jean has to say for himself.
So yeah, the mistake that we've made here is we didn't look up... in between videos, we didn't look up the answer to this, so now we have to sit here going like, yeah, what's the answer?
Darling, that is terrible. We don't cheat.
It is true, but it does mean that now that people have to sit watching us fiddle about.
Well,
That's half the fun, though.
yeah.
Is them feeling smarter because they watch us.
Yeah.
And someone at home is already like, oh, well, I've already figured it out. Or we're just bumbling about with it.
We're making people feel good.
Okay, so...
I said, my suggestion was we try and press him on a few more things to see if it unlocks things, because that can happen.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, I think if we press him, we might be able to at least be like, hey, literally no one else mentioned the giant mirror.
Yeah.
So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
We?
We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Look who's talking, Trite.
Me. Huh?
Hiccups, that's
You're
all.
obstructing my view, among other things.
Rude.
Let me look at you there, little Maya.
Ew! Get away!
Obviously, well, I mean, it's all it can be obstructing, right?
But, this is my seat in the courtroom.
Oh.
Tribulations' charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way.
This is someone who's never worked in a restaurant. If you have a giant mirror in the middle of the aisle, that's going to cause so many problems. Not to mention you get one kid in there. Psh,
Yeah, that is just
giant
a health
mirror,
and
smashed.
safety hazard.
Unlike you, Trite.
I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there, in the middle of the restaurant.
So, let's see.
I think that might be something we can put an objection on, because if you look at the floor plan, you can see the victim from the booth immediately beneath it, right?
Yes.
So even if the mirror is in the middle, you can still see the victim.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that Victor had to have been in the back booth.
Indeed.
That is true.
And where would that be?
Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always
This is actually just my default sprite. Don't get too thrilled with it.
I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Oh boy.
Ew. Just ew. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too. You know I'm some. Shall I tease you too?
Oh no! No! No!
I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I would like to
Going
run
on the
my
record as saying
fingers.
that this is a very stereotypical portrayal of gay men, and we do not condone that.
No.
However, our ew response is in reaction to his behavior,
Yeah.
not the fact that he is apparently attracted to men, which is not a problem.
Yeah, that's not an
Yeah,
issue.
Just, oh my goodness, it's really convenient that we've got this, like, disclaimer, like, lawyer sitting on the side there. Hey there, I'm Phoenix Wright, and I just want to say that I don't condone any of the things in my game. Anyway.
No, we really don't.
We don't. I'm already seeing a very
Phoenix
hot
Wright says no to homophobia.
I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time.
His name's me, and I see him every morning. Coffee.
Oh, Mayo with the savage.
Oh my goodness.
I bet he has mocha cream
She.
Oh, she's. I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume.
Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen.
Nah.
I think you are wrong.
Yeah.
See, there you go. That's his tell. I'm pointing and you can't see, but he. That is the face he was doing last time.
He has the rose in his mouth.
Yeah. So if you look, that's his tell. Yeah. That's the statement. I'm gonna do a safety save in case I'm wrong. But I suspect we show the.
See,
plug.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the contradiction is that you could only see him from one seat in the restaurant.
Yeah, which. That was the seat at the table next to the victims. That was where the old man was seen. I'm wrong.
It's not that easy, darling.
I am just going to check that we don't just present that same thing on the previous one, though. So here. Nope. See? Yeah.
Really?
Like, we know what the...
Dang.
I think we're on the right track. It's just about where to present the... where to present which bit of evidence. Because I don't think there's... there's nothing
can we
else.
see where the vase is? No, because they each have vases.
I mean, the only thing is...
Hold up.
What?
Victor knocked over the vase.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah.
Which means that there should be a water stain on it. So if that's the photo of the crime scene, right? Well, the vase is still upright.
Yeah.
And there's no sign of it having been knocked over, so that can't have been where he was sitting.
If he was sat there, that'd have been broken, wouldn't it? I just noticed it then as soon as you said it. I'm like, yeah. Well done, Taylor.
Very good. You cheeky man, you.
C'est bon!
Yes! Booyaka, booyaka!
This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
Damn right it does.
And although the statement seems generic, the lack of background music means I'm right.
The crime
right.
There's literally just like, there's a guy sat in the gallery with a boombox. And he turns it, and then everyone just looks at him and he's like, what? What? The crime photo?
The crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What do you mean? What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist. Ha! Sounds like you're describing yourself, Wright.
That just...
Now then.
That's needlessly aggressive.
Well, I mean, you know what he's like. Now then, if the defense would please clearly... Oh my goodness. Sorry, I can't read apparently. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement.
Really? I thought I was being perfectly clear.
What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
The dead body.
The dead body. Well, yes.
I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? The vase?
Yes, the vase.
The vase.
What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony?
You're right, love.
He's just such a freaking idiot, isn't he?
Oh.
No, and it's not witnesses, it's witnesses.
I know, but also just the fact that he's like forgotten. Like Victor Kudo's thing already.
Yeah, I love how he like rambled it off on the first instance in the last episode. Just like, yeah, I remember what happened. And now it's like, I have no idea what's going on.
Like, what could possibly be the thing? Like, for goodness sake. What possible connection does this have with this witness's testimony?
Your Honor.
I kind of got carried away with the S's. I just felt like I wasn't going to stop.
I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table.
What?
Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence.
The haiku.
The haiku. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection. Don't Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen from the...
Aha!
That
it
seat's the
Aha.
only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from.
Exactly.
Hmm?
Oh, crap. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in... that's the... Okay. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Oh, mon Dieu!
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase.
And just put out another one?
While the police were... Sorry, it was the pause there. While the police were trying to taking their time getting to the crime scene.
No.
But he said he hadn't touched anything else. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me.
Well, they got rid of him, didn't they?
Mr. Armstrong... Oh, there we go. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words... I did not touch anything else except the mirror.
Oh, monsieur, what an incredible impression of my voice. I would expect nothing less from such an incredible, extremely attractive lawyer such as yourself.
I just couldn't think of anything, I'm sorry. My visor's broken.
Just gonna drown myself in coffee.
I'm gonna speed up my speed up the route to coffee number 17.
Yes.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
Merde. I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Now the only problem is, how do I explain it?
He saw the reflection in his coffee cup.
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
Maybe. There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya. I just haven't said anything about it. I was waiting for you to notice.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's more than one contradiction.
Get with the program, Maya.
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Care to share with the rest of the
Yeah,
class?
would you please enlighten us, Nick.
Please enlighten us. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, aye.
The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. The victim was a phony?
What?
Well, I guess he has to be. Let's do it.
This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
What? What? What?
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake.
I've lost count how many cups this is now. I do love how he takes.
You know,
a sip and
Godot,
then
usually
wastes
you
it.
do a spit take after you already have something in your mouth. You don't drink with the express purpose of doing a spit take.
Order in the court! Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Try. Are you saying that Mr.
I really would like you to repeat it. I couldn't hear you.
Tried, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning.
This is getting a lot more elaborate.
It is.
Yeah, it is. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
I also want to say that I don't know about you two, but I absolutely was not going for this. I did
No.
not have that.
I wasn't either. The only
just-
thing I can think of is that maybe Glenn Elg was trying to essentially clear his name or like get clear off his debt, right? From like all the
Maybe.
gambling. And so he agreed to help out what the heck is his name? Furio. Agreed to help out Furio by selling him the program, and then they would stage this thing so that he would get killed, quote unquote. And his debt would disappear. Furio could sell the CD and
Yeah.
then make back some of the money that he had lost.
I just love that it's only
yeah,
only through going through that third option and then going through this has this sort of brought anything like this to
This
life.
is just complete shot in the dark.
Like, it's very much in the line of the usual with Phoenix, right? Of, have you considered this possibility? Here, listen to my completely outlandish, never like before mentioned or suggested idea that actually turns out to be the truth. It's like, what? Objection. Get real, Trat. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it? No,
it's
no,
not.
it isn't.
Really isn't,
No,
Phoenix.
it really isn't, Nick.
This is all in your head.
I mean, he's smug, but
Isn't it obvious?
And at the very
I mean,
end-
it would be if you had comprehension above that of a grade schooler.
I mean, and then and then at the end of all of this, we'll just get like half of our life taken off us. The judge will go, how
Yeah.
ridiculous! What a ridiculous tirade this has been.
Yeah.
the thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well, and her straps.
It's so hard to believe, but
Did she just put like sleeping powder in it then or something? Or did she accidentally kill
There
him?
was one, and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
objection. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed that. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la! This is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
We.
Just I wonder how many roses he's plucked standing there.
La victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all?
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied.
Oh, you know what? Sorry. I was just thinking, it's like, I mean, if he won, surely he would want to fake his own death so that he wouldn't actually have to pay back his debts, right?
You'd think so.
Maybe.
I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
No, mon Dieu! Please, be gentle with me.
Please, Ahmad Lakit.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
I do please. Wait. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
I would have thought Kudo would have said that he cheered. I don't think he said he cheered, did he? You would have thought he'd made a...
I think he said he made a racket of some kind, is my recollection.
Oh, yeah.
Came to the restaurant alone, remembering on the customer. Got the word, he became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes after that. There was no time for it.
Is it something to do with the timing of the... Oh, no. When does...
Wait a minute, yeah,
When does the lottery results get announced? I thought we had something on that.
We did. So,
1:30.
And when was he poisoned?
Was between 1:30 and 2:30.
Oh.
Wait, so but it's like 5 minutes later the poisoning incident occurred, but the time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time.
That is a lot of
That
time.
makes sense, that.
It's alright, I'm just looking.
Meet with the tiger. Dun, dun,
I would have
dun,
thought that
dun.
had had to have come into it somewhere.
Oh, it will, for sure. Right. Let's press these then.
And what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
Oh,
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
woman.
Sorry? What do you mean?
There is la renowned chef Jean Armstrong and la tragic poet Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Clarice.
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in the $500,000 of debt. Cooking for a man who won $500,000 on la lottery. It is called Pourquoi? It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for the court.
Oh boy.
Please don't. Pourquoi?
Pourquoi?
You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked the old man to call from la payphone.
By your own argument, Trat. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed.
Bien, it seems la shadow of doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh?
No. Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elk, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. Also, we literally just saw him, like, say that he didn't see anything when, Furio assaulted me. But that's a separate matter. That will be decided at a later date when I sue him.
Yes. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Oh, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Could we present that, that's probably not gonna work.
Isn't the calendar? Would the calendar be presented? There was no other customer.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, you could present it and say he had a scheduled meeting with him, so there was probably another customer in there, but that kind of seems tenuous. Did you see him?
No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000!
Presumably, the defendant heard that too, then, correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
And what about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some bird seeds that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands. All right. We'll just go through the rest of them in order, so it's not one of those like that other time.
Yeah.
Where we pressed in the wrong order.
Yeah.
And so it just seemed to never end.
Was he alone at his table as well?
Mais oui, I saw him from the kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Ms. Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Ha! Unfortunately for you, Wright. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone.
Huh?
You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite.
Godot, does anything not remind you of coffee? What kind of coffee has he been drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet.
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. For a change. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip. And nothing more.
And you see the way I drink coffee, so you know that should say something to you. So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail.
What time was it?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh, no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
Convenient.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. Yeah, the crime scene was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Right, that's quite a bit after the announcement.
Yes.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived.
No, I can't know.
So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
Now this should update the testimony,
Yeah.
and we've got him.
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in shocking my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
Oh no. Thank you.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Booyakasha.
Booyah.
Objection!
Booyakasha.
Oui, monsieur Judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci. That's the wrong person. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it?
I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
Maybe I should try complimenting the judge more.
Right. Safety save. So I feel like the lottery time. The lottery announcement time.
Yes.
Yes!
Boom!
Bingo. I'm afraid I've finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Smoke.
Quoi? What do you mean?
I mean, I don't take this smug stance unless I have a really good reason to. I mean,
Or-
at the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece.
Or I'm about to turn this trial upside down.
Oh, yeah.
We're about to make a turnabout out of this turnabout.
Turn
I'm about to strong-arm the answer out of you, Armstrong. Ha-ha!
Oh, mais oui!
The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be le show, moi. Elk was listening to.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that was a
Yeah, they've shortened Monsieur.
They've shortened it this one time.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me do that again.
Oui, that must be le show Monsieur Elk was listening to.
Why, I don't know, but...
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, oui. I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu.
Get to the point, try if you have one.
Your mom. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m.
Oh, I had accidentally put forward all of the clocks in the restaurant by half an hour.
You see, it is a daylight savings time in France.
It is daylight half saving time.
Obviously.
Please, monsieur, forgive me.
And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life, which is kind of a curious slogan, seems a little out of place, but still.
Well, yes, I suppose especially if your life's only going to last for another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's the joke. It's on the air at 1:30?
I wouldn't know. That's usually when I lay down for my midday nap.
That's when I have my siesta.
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m.
It was a rerun.
Rerun.
Rose petal plucking intensifies. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No!
This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There is only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. What?
What?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Was it? So,
Yep.
so the idea is that they did murder Glenn, but they did it 30 minutes earlier, so they could then pin it on. I guess that kind of makes sense, but I feel like they could have just. Okay, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
What?
Yes. I mean, why would you not think that, Taylor? That's exactly, obviously, it's the obvious solution.
I'm so confused.
I would dare say that this is a plan worthy of Look at Me. It is so wonderfully complex and yet so simple. You just have two victims. They'll never know which one is the real one.
Zvary?
Svati, I have done it.
Anyway.
Yes, there were two Glenn, Alex, and Traby in that day. So you know how there's that expression that when you hear hoofbeats in Central Park, assume horses, not zebras, which is meant to say, like, You know, essentially, if you hear something, or not to assume that there are abnormal circumstances when it could be easily explained by normal circumstances. I feel like you can't apply that in Phoenix Wright.
No,
because it's
absolutely
usually
not.
a zebra.
Yeah, absolutely.
The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the killer, came back to life and faked his own death a second time. And the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean,
I couldn't really come to...
if that wasn't the case, then how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection.
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll.
How are you going to flip this around, Goddo? Please enlighten us.
However, if you would examine the crime scene, you would have noticed.
However,
the
I've updated the autopsy report. Edgeworth just flew it in.
He's not Edgeworth.
It's not Edgeworth.
Yeah, you'll notice that if you examine the coffee beans at the crime scene, that you can quite clearly tell that all of this happened half an hour before, and all of the clocks had been advanced by half an hour. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
Huh? What is this? Music Theory 101?
When did Clavier get here? He's not in for another game yet.
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the Benedict of Mr.
Benedict?
Benedict?
For the
Benedict.
I thought I said benefit. I'm sorry. I guess it's
Benedict.
the whole putting the voice on.
The phony Elg is performing a play for the Benedict Cumberbatch we like to call Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is?
In the stew.
Trapdoor? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead.
Where do you suppose he'll be? Hiding under the table? Perhaps in the cooking pot, being served up to the other customers?
Well, I just said that a minute ago, in the stew.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection.
Is it? Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say.
What?
Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to?
The missing corpse?
According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna do a safety save right now.
Yeah, please do.
Because I'm not really sure.
No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden.
Is it the suspiciously body-shaped lump in the Vitamin Square Park? Evidence? What's evidence?
What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, you've deliberated far enough. The court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. Elg concealed?
I feel like it has to be inside. They've got to have hidden him inside because they only had 5. He said there was like 5 minutes. I don't think.
Can we look at the crime scene photo?
Do you think he was in the kitchen somewhere because the medicine bottle's in there.
Yeah, I think he probably was in the kitchen, but
Probably, yeah.
let's say inside.
It would have. It would have been. Oh goodness gracious!
It would.
It would.
What?
This is a grammar lesson for the children.
I can say-
It'd would is actually redundant because it'd would include the term would. It'd would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Ah.
Yes, Your Honor. The exact location?
Wait, is it at the table?
I would think that either the table or the kitchen.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There. I mean, the thing is, though, is there. Oh, I was going to say there are the big tablecloths and whatnot. What do we think? Do we think at the table, or like?
I think at the kitchen. I do. I mean, I don't think there was.
I'm only wondering if, like, the second one was a phony and the police was called then. The phony could obviously get up and move, and then they'd put the original body back in the seat.
Oh,
Because there'd be nobody else in the restaurant. That's what I'm thinking. But it could be a little bit too far-fetched.
The whole thing is a little bit far-fetched.
Because it says time of death between 1:30 and 2:30.
It has to be the kitchen, surely, because like otherwise they
Because
will have
Armstrong is the one that's aiding and abetting this whole thing.
Well, not-
so I'm
not-
sure that they would have.
I was gonna say not to mention
Yeah,
that
and he
like.
didn't come out of the kitchen.
Well,
did he?
hang on. Because not to mention that Victor Kudo came in. He said he sat here, right? That's where he reckoned he sat.
Yeah.
And if he did, he would be able to see under the table the dead body.
Yeah,
Because
so-
the tablecloths don't go down
Right.
to the floor. They're
Yeah.
semi-transparent. You know,
it's
it would
gotta
have
be the
had
kitchen.
for him to not see it. It'd have had to have been either in the kitchen or behind this screen here.
Yeah.
So let's say the kitchen. Oh dear.
The body was hidden here.
I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up?
Where's
That's the
the
bottle.
evidence that proves?
The bottle.
Yes,
It's got to be the bottle. The medicine bottle must have
I would
fallen
have to
out.
imagine so.
It's got to be. Surely.
Well, let's give it a go. Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
Nicely done, Sarah.
Thank you.
Well done, darling.
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality. Only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations.
Eh? Quoi? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they?
No, actually I don't. That's why I asked.
That Mr. Elg
here we go.
that Mr. Elg visited an otolaryngological clinic
Well done.
and was given medication that day.
I wondered if you'd remember how we pronounce it.
Yeah. nice one.
Otolaryngological, I
Yeah.
guess. Otolaryngological.
You can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Mr. Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, When the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No!
Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elg?
Never! I could never do such an horrible thing.
Had the body, yes, but murder, no.
No! Mr. Godot? Mr. Godot?
How is there any coffee
bitterness.
still left in there?
It's like, I wasn't expecting Godot.
No, I was expecting.
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. And I had only just started this one, so it was scalding hot. Hence the new one.
Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now?
37.
I don't, but my stomach sure does.
Then, I like to do the same to the person who lied to me.
Uh-oh.
Make them drink coffee? Oh.
I like to take them down with my empty cup.
That's assault! That's assault, Judge! Listen!
Listen up, chef.
Uh-oh.
How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My deficient friend?
H?
I don't know.
Because he can't say here, it's ear.
Yeah.
Please, you must ear me out.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Oh
Yes!
my God.
Yes, it's that tenuous.
It's extremely tenuous. I do love these games, though. I just want to put that out there. I love the games, but God's sake, sometimes.
You know what? The thing is, especially when you love something, when you love a series like this, it just, you pointing out some of the flaws and whatnot doesn't mean you like it any less. If anything, it's because you pay more attention to it. If we didn't care, we wouldn't point this stuff out.
Yes.
It's just like,
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me, por favor.
Isn't that Spanish?
Yeah.
yeah, but don't forget, he's a con man.
Yo hablo
You
español.
hablo español? Mr. Armstrong. Mr. Armstrong and por favor is Spanish.
Oh, is this
Mr. Armstrong.
Is this where we found out he's not actually French?
Oh yeah, he's not going to be French. He's going to be like, oh, geisha, I'm like totally...
I hope so. This
It's,
is making
yeah,
me
it's
laugh.
going to be right, silly.
Please.
I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
No, absolutely no. I simply...
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you.
I'm going to condone assault this one.
As does my gavel.
Oh my.
Twice, in fact.
Oui. It is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
The confession.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
I mean, why should we when you've literally lied about everything else?
Yeah, exactly.
You were forced? By whom?
I cannot say. I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. L died, was he really the only person at the table?
There was.
Dun 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 dun.
There was another man.
I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may wrong voice. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. Oh no, he
just one more
did
thing
not go down. He did not, doggone admit that I was there. He did not. I'm gonna kill him.
There's just one
gonna
more
kill him.
thing I need to do.
You watch yourself, boy.
I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
Nick's just like cracking his knuckles.
Yeah.
We know, though, it was Violetta. Violetta poisoned the coffee at Tigre's behest. But of course, Nick's not going to figure this out until like 10 minutes from now.
Yeah.
So we can present the debt thing, right?
What, with
Yeah.
the reason why I couldn't refuse.
There was a reason I could not refuse.
Yeah, it must be.
Bop, 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 bop. Where is it?
Where is it? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Booyah, look at you go, Taylor.
Nice one.
You have a $500,000 debt, don't you? About the same as an average college student.
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, je suis désolé.
Désolé.
Désolé. Désolé. Leave me alone.
I was weak and I borrowed the money.
Uh-oh.
This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man.
Dun, dun, dun.
Furio Tigre.
Yeah.
Phoenix Wright. By you, Mr. Wright? You're saying that he couldn't refuse a request from you? Because this man looks exactly like you. Right down to the skin color.
A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it, blah, 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 and you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
No, don't feel bad for him, Maya. This is his fault.
La Tiger. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting la victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried la body and la inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I started writing
I
a
think
poem.
we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
That's got to be the image.
Goodness
for
sake. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Despicable.
Mr. Godot? You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. Who's talking? How dare you?
No one summons me.
I doubt that it can be arranged today, so we shall adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. This is some tasty coffee. 30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more.
And by myself, I mean I'm gonna make Gumshoe go do it.
He's my cousin.
He's my cousin.
How the?
Don't sit back and relax yet, Trat. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Cadeau. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
Does this mean I gotta go out and try to fight him again, pal? Because I don't really want to do that.
I don't want to do that again, pal. I nearly ended up with a broken rib and a nose, and
And quite frankly, I can't afford my medical bills. The last time I had a cold, I had to pay out of pocket.
So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick.
What do you mean, we? I wish I could agree.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. I rhymed.
You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, hey, pal.
But I do.
Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe!
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot
actually,
calling the
it
kettle.
always does that, but, you know.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Topknot.
It's not a top knot!
Never mind about the hair, just calm down, alright?
I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah!
No kidding.
Yeah, you gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour.
An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
Yeah, you bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me?
It's gotta be
Is
the
it the
bottle.
bottle again?
Yep.
Well, I don't think we've got anything else that needs prints, right?
No, I don't think so.
Unless the matches, but yeah, the fingerprints are the most obvious one.
Well, that says unidentified fingerprints.
Yeah, it needs to be that, because...
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, it'll prove who, like, planted it then, wouldn't it, I guess?
Maggie's print.
Well, that proves who took that touched the medicine, but in terms of what was planted, it was the lottery ticket. But yeah. If you're going back to the precinct, take that! If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey, that's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Yeah, sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. Again.
Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe.
Again.
Again.
Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
No pressure.
This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
The Phoenixes from the Zen Eops.
Ugh.
Except that this will now actually have to be next time.
Ah.
Dang.
So, if you like what we do, why don't you hit the like button? Don't forget to subscribe and ring that little dingle dangle bell
Oh,
so
yeah.
that you get notifications when we put out a new video. And my friend here says that you gotta do like a little happy dance.
Yeah.
Although I would say it's probably not necessary, pal, because I mean I don't know about you, but I can't afford to be doing things like that unless I'm getting paid for it, and my salary's so bad that I daren't even I daren't risk it when I could be doing something else that could get me paid.
If I dance too much, pal, I could lose some change out of my pocket.
Yeah, I could lose some vital currency out of my huge pockets. And so with that, that's us done. So we'll see you next time, guys.
That's all for now.
We're sorry.
Until then, may your coffee always be strong, dark, and bitter. Take care, everyone.
Silly.